Crude.com wrote an article. Zach Ellis, Commercial Credit Group.
Boy, those levels are looking pretty good here. It's been interesting trying to retool with some of this home office stuff. By the way, folks, Zach Ellis, Jason Spees here with the Crude Life. And one of the things we wanted to talk about today is not the actual mic levels, the microphone levels, but we want to talk a little bit about some of this coronavirus small business CARES Act and different acronyms you're seeing out there. When's my check coming in the mail? All kinds of different things. So, there is seriously a lot of questions behind this. I've been seeing a lot of different headlines, everything from, I should expect a automatic withdrawal to something's coming out in the mail to, can I get registered as a small business and that sort of thing. So I just thought I'd call Zach Ellis and really just get to the bottom of it. And I would encourage you folks to do the same thing because, he's not going to be able to, I don't even know if you're going to make any money off this, to be honest, but I know you like to guide people in the right direction with the hope that maybe the boomerang effect happens and you get some business on the back end. But so much of your job is guiding people, and right now, you're in a place to help guide people. So let's talk small business. Let's talk coronavirus. How you doing today? Are you still working from home? Are you out there in a hazmat suit? What's going on?
Doing good, Jason. It's surely a crazy time for a lot of people. Almost every business that we're seeing today is working from home, and everybody's taking coronavirus precautions, whether it's hand sanitizer, it's Lysol wipes, it's just secluding yourself away from everybody. So unfortunately, I'm still working from the house. I haven't been able to go out and visit any customers, which has kind of been somewhat of a beating to stay here at the office. But it's truly a time to sit back and reflect and help others. And this conversation that we have is solely meant to help that small to mid-sized business exceed in a tough time, because that's truly where we shine.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on because, like I mentioned, earlier I was talking to a guy and he hasn't filed taxes in 3 years, and so he's not going to see anything. And so there's, just little things like that people don't remember that, that not everybody is eligible for this, and maybe those of you who are not are that type of thing. So when we talk about the coronavirus, the COVID-19 shutdown that's happening, the CARES Act. What are you telling people right now besides remain calm? Because it's going to get a lot more interesting before it gets a lot more smooth. Let's put it that way.
Sure. So Forbes.com wrote an article that I kind of just grabbed some insight from the CARES Act, CARES, CARES Act. Basically, it displays some information regarding individual, family, per child pay, what it's going to allot directly from the government. Unemployment, they've allotted $250 billion solely for unemployment. Payroll taxes are extended through 2022. So that's a huge add for some of the small to mid-sized businesses to save some extra money. Retirement funds, they're waiving up to 10% of the fee up to $100,000. And in the small business relief, there's $350 billion allotted. Companies that have fewer than 500 employees up to 8 weeks pay. And that's huge. That's huge for a guy to say, hey, you know what? I can't pay it right now, but I know if we're able to get approved with the government assistance that we have coming, we can keep our people on board. We can keep the employees feeding their family and keep the company thriving. So that's huge. And then just kind of to revert back to the coronavirus thing, obviously we have shelter-in-place orders, which has restricted a lot of us to working from home, the home office, having the kids, having the wife, everybody's home. So although it can be a stressful time, it's definitely a good time to reflect back on your business and think to yourself, is my business still moving forward right now? Because at the end of the day, coronavirus or not, we have to sit back and say, where's my business going? What am I doing right now? What are my plans for the future? Because as a business, our job is to generate revenue. So that's something that even Commercial Credit Group as a whole, we're all looking at and saying, what can we do now? But even more so, what can we do in the future?
I know one of the things that we've done here at the Crude Life is we kind of shut down our temporary store. that we had, where you could get T-shirts and coffee mugs and that sort of thing. It wasn't a very big market. It wasn't a very big money maker for us. It was more of a marketing thing. Hey, look at us. We're on a T-shirt. We're real type of a thing. But it just didn't do it for us. So, whether it's temporary or whether it's permanent, I don't know. But right now, it's something we had to do. I imagine other companies are doing the same thing, looking at different departments, taking a look at, okay, do we really need this? They were doing this before the coronavirus even hit, when OPEC and Russia and Saudi Arabia, the shenanigans that were going on there, this 1-2 supply demand punch that happened. Are you hearing from businesses that are kind of shifting some things or shutting some things down, and maybe refocusing would probably be the better way of going about it? Because I know you guys do like bill collecting and debt servicing and that sort of thing. So just talk to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, so obviously Commercial Credit Group as a whole, not only are we an independent equipment lender, but we do have a customer service team who does just that, customer service, whether it's bill payment, collections, asset holding, whatever it may be. We do have a team that does that, but we are noticing customers. A lot of our business that we work with right now are family-owned businesses, anywhere from 5 to probably 150 employees, I would say, is where we work. I just went and met up with a customer out in Cedar Hill, and he's got his entire team, working from home, and that's a little less than 50 people. So he told me, he says, hey, Zach, I've got to cut back on the expenses. I've got to truly hone in on what can make us successful. So he's trying to save on fuel. He's trying to save on parts. And he says, hey, you know what? Instead of taking all of my trucks to the Volvo or Freightliner or Kenworth dealer, I'll work on them in-house. Just total expense exposure they want to reduce, because that's what's going to help them in this time. And obviously, we brought up factoring and refinancing debt and stuff like that, but he's a current customer of ours. But he did say, hey, you know what, Zach, I never thought about factoring. And that's something huge, too.
How about for some of the people that are looking for just projections when it's come to trying to figure out when they can get back out in the marketplace? I don't know if a bridge loan would be the appropriate term, I guess. I just know that a lot of times when, especially in boom bust cycles and when you've got seasonal business and some other things, every now and then, a furnace goes out, around a house, for example. That's an unexpected expense. And of course that happens in business quite a bit. My computer crashed 2 weeks ago, and that, to me, I didn't budget a new computer till next year. So that was an unexpected expense. How about in the world of bridge loans and just, kind of some, I don't know if the right word is stimulus or what. I used to call it a bridge loan. They got all kinds of different names now. But talk to me about that vein of financing, because that's another avenue I think that people are interested in exploring.
Yeah, whether you call it a bridge loan, a company loan, a line of credit, whatever you refer to it as, that is something that we specialize in. And it kind of reverts back to refinancing current debt or even adding debt. The refinancing and factoring has been something that we've hit on 3 weeks in a row now, and it's just something that I feel really strongly about that can help a customer. I set up a customer last week on factoring that had a little less than $1.5 million in current invoices, less than 90 days. And what that meant for him was, we're going to go through the invoices, we're going to set up a relationship, and we're going to have that customer able to get his funds via ACH. I'm waiting on the wire confirmation, but he'll have a little over $500,000 by the end of the week. And that's huge. The money was just sitting before, and he says, hey, Zach, I've got all these invoices. Do you factor? And I said, yeah, we factor. We have a company called Commercial Credit Inc. So that's a huge thing. If you have invoices sitting, we can look at factoring. It's a 1-year relationship. We take invoices less than 90 days in age. All we ask for is a current breakdown of your current invoices, and that is one way to immediately increase cash flow. Secondly is, I guess, what you might call a line of credit or possibly refinancing some of your debt. This is also a good time to look over your books when you're trying to reduce your overall exposure and seeing, okay, well, I'm currently paying 10, 12, 14% on this loan. Why don't I try to refinance it? And immediately you're saving your money and you're buying yourself 30, 60, 90 days until that first payment's due.
That, of course, is something that can really come in handy at this time. So many people are trying to figure out what to do next. Uncertainty has always been the bane of existence and energy. And like I mentioned, there's that 1-2 punch that's going on, the supply punch, and then you got the demand punch, OPEC, Russia, Saudi Arabia happening, coronavirus from the other side. At the same time, energy's needed. It's a necessity. And I still go back to they still have the same amount, probably even more money now after the last stimulus package and everything else that happened. So there's a lot of money circulating around this planet. And so one of the reasons why I keep bringing Zach on is because there's always good news out there, folks. There's always good news out there. You just got to figure out how to build a better mousetrap, how to make a better steak sandwich. And sometimes you do need a little bit of some resources, some funds, and et cetera. And right now is a great time, actually. I saw the federal, didn't they cut the interest rates down to 0? And, you know, there's an old saying, you know, never let a good crisis go to waste. And you hate to say that, but when it comes to the world of financing, what's going on right now, there is a lot of very good opportunity to carry small business through this. And so, Zach, take this opportunity, really focus on small business. Who can you help? Who can take advantage of this time that's going on? Because quite honestly, now is a time to take advantage of the help that's needed, because you're not taking advantage of a situation. You're taking advantage of the help that's out there. Is that a correct way to phrase it, I guess?
I'd say, yeah. You know, we're always trying to capitalize on helping a customer. It's never a transactional relationship with anybody that I interact with. I have customers that often call me and say, hey, you know what, I got your number off LinkedIn, or hey, you know what, I saw your Facebook marketing. Me and my wife try to focus on some social media marketing, and that's a huge avenue. But I'll have those customers call me and I'll say, hey, you know what, unfortunately, I'm probably not the best fit for you. Maybe you need to call XYZ Bank. Maybe you need to go to your local credit union. There's a lot of startup guys out here that are looking for guidance, and I don't mind helping that customer. In anybody that I talk to, even if I can't help you personally, I want to be able to take your hand and guide you to where an avenue that can help you. But small to mid-market businesses, 1 million to 100 million in revenue, keep in mind, obviously the Crude life is energy focused, but we finance oil field construction and transportation equipment. So obviously, my background is transportation sales. Before that, I was with a car dealer doing finance. So it's always been near and dear to me to stay within that transportation focus. Here's kind of just a quick insight. Dry van rates are currently $1.80. Last year, we were seeing anywhere from $1.30 to $1.56 a mile. Current reefer rates, refrigerated, which is obviously usually your produce and meats and such, $2.16 a mile. Also, that includes flatbed as well, as averaging $2.16 a mile. So we're seeing the transportation industry as a whole increase, which has been a good thing. And it's terrible at this time because of what's going on. But transportation rates are increasing. So we feel that the virus obviously is going to affect a lot of people and a lot of companies, but small to mid-market businesses would love to speak with anybody within that revenue market, whether you're refinancing, whether you're adding a new loan, whether you're factoring, whatever it is, or if you just have a question, say, hey, Zach, you know what? Can you help me out? I'd love to speak with anybody.
Let's get your information out to the public in case they have any questions, want to just reach out, find out what's available. Like we say before, whether it's the CARES Act and you're going to just kind of help them through that, or whether it's getting them into some kind of package where you might make a commission on, or whether it's getting them to somebody else, and who knows, maybe you can get a referral fee out of the deal. I'm not even sure, but you know what I'm talking about. Just, you want to help people, so get the information out there. Let people know how they can get in touch with you.
Absolutely. I have my cell phone with me from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard every single day. If I don't answer, definitely leave a voicemail. My phone number is 682-386-7973, or you can email my first initial and last name. That's Z Ellis at commercialcreditgroup.com.
And we'll of course have the links for that at the website. I'll tell you what, should we just link it to your LinkedIn page? Would that be the easiest on our website?
Absolutely. LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So surely link it there, and we'll make sure to share it on all of our social media avenues. And again, any question that you might have, small to mid-market business, I understand that not everybody that tunes into this show may be a customer of mine. But if you're in that sector and you say, you know what, Zach, can you help me with this? I'd love to talk with you.